And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 3 ugly, mean stepsisters named Olive, Nina, and Esme. Olive, Nina, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. "Sweep the floors, wash the dishes," said Olive, Nina, and Esme. One day, the king of Onlyville's messenger said, hear ye, the king of Onlyville is going to throw a ball. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Singling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. Olive said, he's going to marry me. Nina said, no way, Olive. He's going to marry me. Esme said, both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad that she cannot go to the ball and marry Prince Singling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what is wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I wanted her to go to the ball and marry Prince Singling, but I'm not welcome. The fairy godmother waved her wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! And then, Cinderella's chores are all done. But the fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has one pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Winnity, Waterity, one! Again, and to turn Cinderella's do-rag and clothes into a gown. I've never seen such a wonderful gown. I get a load of my glass slippers, and then the pumpkin into a carriage drawn by 2 strong horses. The fairy godmother said, have fun, Cinderella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Singling was wondering who he should marry. Olive, Nina, and Esme said all together, he's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Singling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Singling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Onlyville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where her Cinderella and her stepsisters lived. He said, ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try this glass slipper? Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. Esme is last, but her foot didn't fit either. Suddenly, Prince Singling noticed Cinderella singing. Cinderella said, Prince Singling, is that you? Prince Singling said, of course it's me. Cinderella gets so excited because she's having to have her Prince Singling back. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story before bed enters doors. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to my video. Take care. Bye and good night, everybody. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Andrew's Doers 1029 It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young woman named 1029 Arella. 1029 had 21 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Olive, Nina, Esme, Tasha, Hannah, Ophelia, Uniqua, Sasha, Alana, Natalia, Dahlia, Tina, Winona, Elena, Nina, Tanya, Nina, Natalia, Isabella, Nadia, and Erica. All 21 of them made 1029 Arella do all the chores. 1029er wench, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said all 29 of them all together. One day, the king of non-vintage Humbleham's messenger arises and says, Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Milla, non-vintage Humbleham, his majesty, is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Milla, non-vintage Tumbling. But 1029 Arella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. They then argue over who will Prince Milla, non-vintage Tumbling marry. Later, 1029 Arella is so sad, doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince non-vintage Tumbling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks 1029 Arella what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, 1029 Arella? In which 1029 Arella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Milla non-vintage Tumbling. 1029 Arella's fairy godmother says, I can help with a bit of magic, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 1029 Arella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She says, 1029 Arella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 1029 Arella has 1029 pumpkins and 2058 mice. 1029 Arella's fairy godmother raised her magic wand again to turn the 1029 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 2058 mice into horses, and best of all, 1029 Arella's clothes into a gown and crown. 1029 Arella says, I've never seen such a Milla non-vegetable-tastic gown! And get a load of my glass slippers! Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? 1029 Arella's fairy godmother says, well, you can't. But have fun, 1029 Arella. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will check back to the way it was before. And gives her a clock to tell her what time it is. 1029 Arella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of non-vegetarian says, "Good evening, everyone." Prince non-vegetarian was wondering who to marry. "Isn't that right, son?" In which Prince non-vegetarian says, "Yes, father." Suddenly, 1029 Arella arrives at the ball just in time. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters, there's Olive to Erica, say, "He's walking towards me!" All together, but he's not walking towards any of them. Prince non-vegetarian is walking towards 1029 Arella. "May I have this dance?" Prince non-vegetarian asks. And so, 1029 Arella responds, "I would be delighted." 1029 Arella and Prince non-vegetarian dance happily together. But later, 1029 Arella checks her clock. It's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince non-vegetarian was really worried that he might never see 1029 Arella again. The king of non-vegetarian comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find 1029 Arella." And so, Prince non-vegetarian and the king of non-vegetarian traveled all around non-vegetarian to find 1029 Arella, and brought the glass slipper with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the house where 1029 Arella and her 21 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 29 Arella, they found her 21 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Olive to Erica. Prince non-vegetarian then says, "Ladies, my father and the king and I have a favor to ask. Can you draw on this glass slipper?" Olive is first, but her foot is too big. Nina is next, but her foot is too small. "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince non-vegetarian and the king of non-vegetarian noticed 1029 Arella singing. The glass slipper fits! And now, 1029 Arella, Prince non-vegetarian and the king of non-vegetarian lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Introduce Everything, and buy our merchandise at introduceeverything.com. Take care, Introducers, and I've been debating on making some sequels. So, if you want to see maybe 1029 Arella 2, 1029 Wishes Come True, tell your friends about it. And like I said, take care. Bye.